Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Olina and I'm a knitter from Norway, and I've been wanting to make the Levitate Wrap ever since it came out, ever since before it came out, since I saw the first pictures on Instagram. But I've been struggling ever since to figure out what yarn I want to do it in, what colors, just all of the different specifics I've been really struggling with, because this is a cardigan I really want and I love my cardigan. They're some of the knit pieces I use the most, and also the knit pieces I put the most energy into planning for, because if I'm going to do that many purls, I'm going to make sure I'm 1000% happy with the end result. But early this summer I finally found yarn that I want to make it in, and it's nowhere near the original, but this is it. Just look at it. It is such amazing yarn, but I'm going to do it in Drops Daisy with Drops Kid Silk, and I think that's going to be amazing. I still haven't made a swatch. I haven't seen how these look together, because as you can see they are quite different. Both of them are red, but because of different dye lots they have quite a big difference, but I think they will be amazing together. And I know I love Drops Daisy. I still haven't tried it for an adult garment, but I know I love this. It's soft. I love the stitch definition it gives. I love knitting with it, and then hopefully the mohair will give it that kind of fluff that the original has. I don't know how close to the original it will be, but I know that with this yarn combo it will be comfortable for me to wear, and hopefully it will have a lot more longevity than it would if I were to knit it with Drops Air, which I also love, and it's also soft, but I don't think it has that much longevity. It kind of feels flat after a while, but I have lots of hopes and beliefs for this yarn and I'm so excited. I'm also definitely in a red mood lately. There's something about the color red, all different kinds of red, that just I love them lately. So I want to knit with everything that's red, and also outside things are turning more and more red. The leaves are starting just a little bit now to turn. That's also what I've been waiting for ever since I got this yarn earlier this summer, because I wanted to knit on it when everything outside was turning red, and now that's finally happening. Berries are turning red, and the leaves, and just everything is more red. So I'm really excited to be working on this now, and I thought I'd take you with me while I make this Levitate Wrap. But that's really it for this intro, and now I just really want to get to working on it. I'm back with an update on the Levitate Wrap, and a lot has happened. I've been wanting to make this update, but I've just been too busy and I didn't want to use any of my knitting time on doing anything else than knitting. So this is where we're at. I started not that long ago, but this is knit on 6mm needles, and it's just too fun to put down, and also this color is just insane. I get so happy just by looking at it, so I've just been knitting away on this. The back yoke knit up really fast, but I also used a bit more time just because every couple of stitches and rows I had to stop and just pet it, because this is the softest fabric I've ever felt, and I've worked with a lot of different yarn combinations and just nothing beats this. And I also had to stop and just look at the fabric, because right now I'm out of my one skein of Drop Stacy, but I don't know if you can see maybe here, but the colors of the Kid Silk and the Drop Stacy are quite different, so I was really afraid they were going to like marl and it would be very obvious, but in the fabric of course you can see it a bit, the color differentiation, but you can't really see it that well, and it just made the whole color a color I enjoy much more, and I'm just so happy every time I look at it, every time I pet it. I was a bit worried it wouldn't have the right like gauge and feel and texture, because I'm using Drop Stacy instead of a blow yarn, but this is turning out so good, and I'm so happy with my color choice, with my yarn choice, with just everything, and it's just a joy to knit up. I'm also very much in my red era. I'm knitting red, I'm wearing red, I'm thinking about other red projects, and I'm just having so much fun. It's amazing to just have a project where you're having a lot of fun. Yesterday though, I did have a little moment where it wasn't that fun, because I had just finished the whole right shoulder, which I had been knitting on for a little while, and then right as I finished I realized that I'd picked up the wrong amount of stitches, and that's maybe why I shouldn't pick up stitches when I'm out and about, because I read the pattern, but I think I read the wrong size and ended up picking up the wrong amount of stitches, and then I didn't double check. So yesterday I had to unravel this whole thing, which wasn't fun, with mohair and 2 strands, and also having to redo the whole thing, but I just ripped it out immediately and got started again, and luckily since it's on 6mm needles it did go by quite quickly. And then I thought, okay, I'll just start on the second shoulder, because I didn't have that much left of the Kid Silk or the Drop Stacy, so I thought I'll just knit on this until the first skein runs out, and that will probably just be a couple of rounds, and I've almost done the whole other shoulder as well, because I had a lot more Drop Stacy and Kid Silk than I thought, and this took a lot less than I thought. So now I'm almost done with the whole yoke, and it is looking really nice. I am super excited for this project. I'm about to start working in the round. I have a couple of other projects that also need my attention, but this is really hard to put down, and also now that everything is turning like red and hues like this outside, I just want to be working on this. I want to have this and cozy up in it, and I think this will be amazing for the time that we are heading into. And just look how pretty this is. I can't wipe the smile off my face. It is an amazing project, and I am so glad that I waited this long to cast it on, so I would be sure that I made it in the color and the yarn that I wanted, and it has just turned out so great. It's not done yet, but I can already tell I'm going to love it, and I'm just so happy. And that is the update on this for now, that I'm just in love with this project. But that's it for this update. Hi, I'm back with a quick update. I wanted to do a quick update. I realized that I kind of just zoomed through this body. It was just so fun to knit. I couldn't put it down. I couldn't even put it down for a couple of seconds to film it, but I've finished the body, as you have realized by watching everything else, but finished the body. And then after that, of course, I did the first part of all of the double knitting, which I think went fine. I think I hit gauge so it won't, like, what's it called? Like bunch up. It looks like it might bunch up a bit here, but it's also still on this cable here, because what I have realized is that I have a bit too little of the red mohair. This is all I have left for 2 sleeves and the button band and the tying in the waist. So I don't have a lot, but I do have more red mohair. It's just not the same dye lot. I think my other red mohair is a lot lighter. So even though I would love nothing more right now than to do this part and get it off the needle to properly see how it fits and how the bunching up is, and to also be done with the double knitting, I think I'm going to start with knitting the sleeves just to see how far I can get with these two. Ideally, I'd be able to finish the sleeves with just this. I might have to do some like helical knitting maybe. I've only done that once before, so this could turn into quite the challenging project if I have to do more of that, but fingers crossed that I have enough mohair to finish the sleeves, and then I'll use my different colored mohair to do like the double knitting here and the tying, because I don't think it matters as much that this part is exactly the same color. It could just look like a design choice if this is different, but the sleeves I really need to be the same color, and same with this part around here, but this part is kind of its own thing. So that's where I'm at. This has had a bit of a break just because picking up stitches is really tiring, and knitting this button band was tiring, and I've also been taking this time to kind of think about what I need to do. So, but I'm ready now to pick up for sleeves and get going, even though I really want to just start by doing this and just get this needle out, because it's really annoying to just have a needle here, and there is a lot of stitches scrunched up on this, but I really think that's the best idea, just so I know how much of the other colored mohair I might need for the sleeves, and yeah, just I think that's the best way. But that's just a little update I wanted to pop in and show my progress, because I am really starting to get somewhere with this. Of course, this is horrible lighting. I am home alone with my son this week, so the only time I had to film this was after his bedtime, so the lighting does not do anything justice right now, but I'm really excited that this is really starting to come together, and I just wanted to show you guys.
lager jeg masker.
Hi, I'm back with a little update. This will probably be the last update because I am very close to being done. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this today because I am really eager to wear it. I just finished the second sleeve and did all of the decreases and then knit it down, and I liked the way this knit down a lot better, and all of this just turned out a lot better than the first sleeve did, so I decided to redo the first sleeve right away, and that also turned out better, so I had to do it a couple more times, but in the end I turned out really happy with it. After doing the first, I was really unsure about if knitting it down would be the best idea. As you can see, it's knit down here. And ever since I finished it, I have thought about frogging it and sewing it down instead. But I wanted to do the second sleeve first to see if I could just get better. And I did get better, so instead of frogging and sewing them down, I decided to just frog the one and knit it down better, and that made a lot of difference. I don't know if you could see in the clips before, but it had a very visible line here where I had knitted down and it just did not look great, and I also hadn't knitted down far enough, so it would also curve a lot up here, so it just wasn't done properly. But I'm very happy now that I've done it again, and now the only thing I have left to do is the bottom part of the double knitting. But this is all of the mohair I have left in the original mohair color, so unfortunately this is not going to be enough, and since this is so little, I'm not even going to use this because I have other mohair, but this is in a bit of a different color. I don't know if you can see it here, but this is quite a lot lighter, and I think it's going to be fine for the bottom part. It will maybe be a bit visible, but not super visible. But if I try to mix this up and then all of a sudden go from one to the other, I think it will be more visible. So I'll just be using this and then still with the same drop stacey and do the bottom part. I think you start with just doing double knitting around here with all the stitches that are on this needle, and then you start doing the bands you tie it together with, and then you also add in snaps somewhere, and then I have to weave in all of ends, but hopefully fingers crossed I'll be able to finish this today so I can start wearing it. I am so excited. I've been so excited to wear this ever since I started knitting it, and now that we're so close, I just want to put everything else on hold and just knit this until it's done and I can start wearing it. But that's my little update for now, and I'm just going to go back into knitting this so I can have it done as soon as possible. I am finally all done with my Levitate wrap, and I am absolutely in love, like I thought I would be. I love this color. I love everything about it. It's also something really different from everything else that's in my knitted wardrobe. And this is her. She's so pretty, so elegant. I'm really happy with the bow I just tied as well. I'm not always happy, but this time I really am. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this, what would you call it? Cardigan wrap? I don't know. But for some details around it, I did decide to do this in size small, even though my regular size is medium. I have looked at the pattern and pictures, and I've just found it a bit too oversized for a wrap. If I'm knitting or wearing a wrap, I want it to be a bit more tight-fitting if I'm wearing it over a dress, or just no matter what, I want my wraps to be a bit less oversized. So I chose to go with the small size, and that's why it is fitting me a bit different, especially in the sleeves. My sleeves are not oversized at all, but that's a problem I have with almost any pattern anyways. But it does definitely fit me a bit differently, but I am really happy with the fit. It is surprisingly short. It has surprised me just how short it is, but looking at pictures, this is the length it has most of the time. And if I did put on it a bit in blocking just so it would actually reach the length of my pants, and I am really happy with everything. The one thing that is kind of bugging me, but I think it's just supposed to be like it, is that it does wrinkle up a lot. Here I have a snap here, so this won't go like that, and when I snap that in, just give me a second to get it snapped in, you can see it kind of pulls on the fabric like that. And also here the fabric is pulled on, and if I do it like this, the fabric doesn't get pulled on, but then I move around again and it's back to being pulled on. But I think that's just something I need to get used to. I don't think it looks bad, I'm just not used to my knitting being like wrinkled up next to me, so it's definitely something to get used to. But that's really the only thing I have that I'm not absolutely in love with. Other than that, I love it. I did have a bit of a scare though, because as you might know if you watched me before, I wash all of my knitting in the washing machine, and I did that with this as well. But this is actually my first time ever washing Drop Stacey. I've knit with Drop Stacey before, but I've given it away before I've had the chance to wash it. And I don't know if it was the Drop Stacey or if it was because this is a really loose gauge, or if it was because of the double knitting, but it has definitely felted a bit in some places. I'd say it's most felted on the double knitting. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to show you. It's not that felted, you can still very clearly see the stitches, but I think you would have a really hard time trying to ever frog this, because the stitches are just a bit felted. Not everywhere, but on the double knitting and kind of around the double knitting, I'd say there is a bit of felting. And yeah, I think I'll have to do a gauge wash now to see if it's Daisy or the gauge and what to do moving forwards, because I always wash my knits with the washing machine, but this might have to become an exception because I don't want this to felt any more than it has. But yeah, I am really happy with it. My fiance also loves it. He thinks it's also something really different than everything else I have. I don't think this will necessarily be a like everyday wear because it is a bit short when moving around, and I don't think this is going to be super comfortable under jackets, but it's definitely a cardigan I love. I'm definitely going to be using it loads, but probably for more special occasions or when I'm dressing up more. And yeah, but I would definitely recommend the Levitate Wrap. It's such a fun project, and My Favorite Things Knitwear is really good at explaining everything in her patterns or linking to YouTube videos to help you in her patterns. So even though I think this has like up their difficulty rating, I would say go for it. The pattern explains it really well. There are videos to follow. So if you want to make it, I'd say go for it. I ended up using a bit under 8 skeins of Drops Daisy, almost exactly 8 skeins of Drops Daisy, and 4.5 skeins of Drops Kid Silk. I'll put the exact grams in the description, and maybe I'll put them up here as well, but I can't remember the exact grams. But if you want to make this same for size small, I used that much yarn, and even though the fabric got almost felted and kind of got put through the wringer in the washing machine, it's still the softest fabric I've ever felt. It's so good, and this is definitely a yarn combination I'll be using in the future as well. But that is all for this video. I hope you had fun following along, and if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. Bye!